What's up, guys? NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today, guys, I've once again got some comments from yesterday's video. I've actually been enjoying these discussion videos that we've been having. I'm going to be building our brand new full objective squad. I got kind of a little bit inspired yesterday after talking about those players that we work towards to build that. I don't know if we're going to play a game with it today or not. It depends what we get through, I suppose, in the day, how long the video goes for. And then we're going to talk about the potential possibility of grinding a League SBC. What? FIFA 21? Possibly grinding League SBC? You're crazy. No. The EA have released finally some new League SBCs. The new UCL one is there. Now, we can take what Footbin says with a pinch of salt, as we well know, because the prices are just never like entirely accurate. But this League SBC, the UCL League SBC, is coming in on PlayStation under 100,000 coins. Now, why that, first of all, is a bit confusing is because I don't think it's going to be under 100,000 coins. I actually think it's going to probably get close to double by the time the player prices update and whatnot. But they've changed the rewards slightly on this one. And you get a Premium Electrum Players Pack tradable, of which would be good to sell those 12 players on. A Jumbo Gold Pack tradable, of which would be good to sell those 24 items on. A Prime Electrum Players Pack, another 12 players. And a Jumbo Premium Gold Pack, another 24 items. So you've got, what was that, 72 items, sellable items from these packs here. And a Rare Mix Players Pack, another 12. So 84 tradable items that are sellable to get back any money. Now, of course, if averagely we're talking about 200 to 300 coins, that's only going to be 30k back. If we can push that up to like 50, 500 to 600 coins, we're talking about, like 40 to 50k back. If we could start working on almost 1,000 coins a card, we're looking at like 80k back. And what you get outside of that is a Premium Gold Players Pack untradeable, a Prime Gold Players Pack untradeable, a Rare Electrum Players Pack untradeable, a Mega Pack untradeable, and the group reward of a 50k pack untradeable. I think there is potential here, depending on how much it costs to complete the whole set. I think there is potential here to say it might cost you 50 to 60, maybe 70,000 coins, including things that you've got back to save that many packs. Now, I would go and clear my club out tomorrow because we've invested heavily in consumables. I'm going to show you that today now. No, I won't. I'll show you tomorrow what I did, because I've still got 160k that I want to invest. But I'll show you that tomorrow what we did, and then I'll explain why, so that you guys can use that knowledge. And hey, I might be wrong, right? So we might be sitting here with egg on our face. But if let's even go really bad with it and say 80k a turn. If I have 800,000 coins and I can grind this 10 times over, and get these packs, get 10 50ks, 10 35ks, 10 30ks, 10 45ks, and 10 25ks, all for 800k, I'm in. I am in. Count me in. So I'm going to basically just go and have a look, go and do the math, go and look at what it settles out on Footbin, what the prices settle at in general, because I don't know where it's going to be and whether it's going to be worth it or not. It might, if it does push up towards 200k instead of towards 100k, it's like, okay, maybe it's not worth it. For untradeable rewards, even for Team of the Year, it's probably not worth it. But that's where we're at. Also, the fact that there's Serie A. No, wait, what have we got? Bundesliga and Championship means that we can bronze pack method and sell some players to make some coins. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What I want to talk about today, next up, as I say, I've got some comments. The first one is from Westy Plays. He says they need to add max chemistry with some objectives to do. Now, in general, I like what EA have done with the friendlies and with objectives. Certainly, there are some issues, of course, but in general, I like it. But it would be really cool if they put some players to play for or some packs to play for or something in these objectives. Imagine a mystery ball objective, win 5 mystery ball games with a team full of goalkeepers, something like that, for just something nominal, an Electrum Players Pack or something. That kind of stuff would actually genuinely be Really, really fun and engaging. So yeah, I'm absolutely with you on that one, Westy, and I would absolutely love to see some of that. We've then got Natured says, Nep, what is your transfer profit on the leaderboards? Just curious. So my transfer profit is quite high, not crazy high. I think it's somewhere close towards 6 million coins. We have got 5 million coins. Obviously, if I sell Ronaldo, that puts me straight up at 6 million coins. But there's an issue with transfer profit. Like, as an example, if I believe this to be the case anyway, it might have been different this year, but it certainly was like this in previous years. I've got some more packs in store now as well, guys. We've saved 2 mega packs and 2 ultimate packs from our Div 1 Rank 1 Rivals rewards. But if we open a 5k pack, that doesn't take 5,000 coins off of my transfer profit. But if I sell the items, it does add coins to my transfer profit for selling the items. You know what I mean? So it's a very, very peculiar one where, like, for example, spamming bronze packs certainly boosts your transfer profit massively, even though it's not really like, it's not entirely accurate, basically. I also think it doesn't take into consideration tax. I remember there was not a scandal, so to speak, but I remember a lot of traders that were trying to make a name for themselves a couple of years ago were buying icons, selling them for basically the same price. It was adding to transfer profit, but it wasn't taking into consideration tax. So even though they were actually losing coins, their trade profit was going up. And yeah, I can't remember exactly how it was working, but there was some weird thing there. But yeah, I've got about 5 million trade profit. Jordan says, just have fun playing the game. Just do SBCs that you think are worth it at the time. You've done them because you had an interest in them at the time. Let me get the next comment. Let me get the next comment that is part of that as well. I've got a couple of brilliant ones here as well. This comment from Chris, which kind of is a good counter argument to Jordan's comment there. He says the value of any specific SBC or objective is totally subjective to the individual. Price and time are factors, but it's totally personal preference as to whether that specific item is worth the effort. That may be due to affinity with the player, not having anything else to do, wanting to grind, abundance of coins, etc. And I think that has to be taken into consideration too. When we think about Jordan's comment, just have fun playing the game, which absolutely agree. Just do SBCs that you think are worth it at a time. Also, absolutely agree. You've done them because you had an interest in it at the time. Sometimes no. Sometimes no. Sometimes we have done some SBCs because of what Chris said. Sometimes we've done an SBC because there was just nothing else to do. There was an SBC there. I had some coins spare. Sometimes, like we did the Hour SBC, and he's made a few appearances for us as a sub. But we did that SBC because we got a duplicate untradeable Manuel Neuer. And so the price of Hour, as an example, right, it wasn't like crazy expensive, 130,000 coins. The price of Manuel Neuer is 51,000 coins. So we spent 80,000 coins to save having to discard a 50,000 coin untradeable player. Even though we couldn't get those 50,000 coins for Neuer, we literally spent even more coins just so that we didn't throw that away. Now, there is something to be said for this Hour card is worth it. Yeah, he's a good card. If I would have thrown that Neuer away, that would have been a waste. Would I have preferred the 80k coins instead of the Hour? Who knows, right? But yeah, I certainly think like some people do SBCs for fear of missing out. Some people do SBCs based on their feelings at the time, and that is why it is important to know that playing the game for fun is valuable. But there was another comment. No, I didn't bring that one, but there is always like something that comes with it, with doing it in the now, even if there are better players. So there was one more comment. It was from Robbie Smith. And Robbie says, I bought a bottle of wine yesterday and today it's finished. I don't regret buying the wine as I enjoyed it. Treat SBCs the same, Nep, and enjoy the players you want. So 2 things that come with that. First of all, if you do every SBC that comes out just because you're enjoying the game, we've discussed this before, you will eventually run out of coins and resources. You won't be able to do other SBCs, right? If I go and spend let's say I sold up, went completely untradeable, completely liquid, and did the Oxlade-Chamberlain SBC, the Firmino SBC, and the mid-icon or base icon SBC. That's it. That's all my resources, all my coins gone. Now I've got those 3 players and I have nothing else. So when something insane comes out tomorrow, I can't afford to do it anymore because I've wasted all my coins, all my assets, all my players, everything. It's all gone. So it's the kind of mentality behind just do it because why not? That runs out eventually when you run out of coins and cards, right? To come back to your kind of theory with you bought a bottle of wine, you drank that bottle of wine, and you didn't regret it, therefore it was a good investment, you enjoyed that bottle of wine. If you bought a bottle of wine, let's say Alwar is your bottle of wine, right? And you spent £10 on that bottle of wine, and after drinking it, you can take that bottle back to the shops and get £8 back, or you can buy a different bottle of wine for £10, but after you finish drinking it, you're not allowed to take that bottle back, you just got to throw it away. Which one would you prefer to do? I think it's fair to say people would be like, let me buy the £10 bottle of wine that I can take back to the shops for £8. You enjoy the wine just the same. You know, it might be a different flavor of wine or a different color of wine, might be a different shaped bottle of wine, might be a different region that the wine is made in. You know, it might be made in France, that bottle of wine, or it might be made in New Zealand, that bottle of wine. It might be fizzy wine, it might be still wine, it might be 2000, you know, a year 2000 wine, it might be a 2005 wine, but you enjoy the wine all the same, right? It's the same with tradable versus untradeable cards. If you can buy a card that is basically the same as Alwar on the market for the same price as the Alwar SBC costs, but then sell it again afterwards for a percentage of that money back, instead of completing an SBC and getting nothing back, why wouldn't you go for the buying the Alwar that you could sell back, right? That's my logic with it. So I understand what you're getting at. You're getting at the fact that, hey, you did these SBCs, you enjoyed these players, you can leave it there. And for the most part, that's absolutely right. But when we come to the next comment, is Gio. Gio says, Nep in 2 weeks. I shouldn't have done that Hakuna SBC when Team of the Year Davies is out. I wasted my coins. That's a dumb argument. Here's why it's not a dumb argument, right? There are certain SBCs that are great value for coins, and Hakuna is one of those. He was 160k. This left back on the market would be more than 160k. Hakuna is brilliant. I think it's fair to say this card can last you until Team of the Season. Unless you want to improve it for a Team of the Year, Alphonso Davies, for example, this card can last you till Team of the Season. It is brilliant. You put an anchor or even better, a shadow, takes him up to a 93 rated left back, 4-star skill moves, brilliantly well-rounded stats. It's brilliant, right? When we look at actual left backs in the market, right, when we look at the most expensive left backs in the game, we have got Roberto Carlos, prime. Let's ignore this Roberto Carlos. We've got Paolo Maldini. We've got Alphonso Davies live item. And we've got Ashley Cole, right? Now, when you look at where Hakuna is in terms of price, he's way down there. When you look at where Hakuna is in terms of popularity, he's also way down there, although that's a bit skewed because there's some... Oh, wait, hold on. This is the worst popular cards. He is the 3rd most popular left back on Footbin. If you look at it by base stats, like the face card stats, Hakuna is the best left back in the game. And if you look at it by in-game stats, total number of total stats, he is the 2nd best left back in the game. When you look at him and then price comparison, Grimaldo looks to be a brilliant card. Fairly easy to link as well. 36,000 coins. 3-star, 2-star, which is not as good as Hakuna. Great stamina as well. A Shadow Chem star puts him up to a 92. This is a great value card, right? The reason why it's so cheap is because of the league that he plays in. I don't necessarily know about the nation. There's easy ways to link Grimaldo. But when looking at Hakuna in terms of total in-game stats, even compared to Grimaldo, he's like over 100 more in-game stats. Compared to prime Roberto Carlos, he's only 22 in-game stats away. So when we look at the best left backs in the game, it is fair to say that even when Team of the Year Alphonso Davies comes out, this Hakuna card is still going to be one of the best left backs in the game for a reasonable price, right? When you compare him to Roberto Carlos, he's got 1 less pace, 6 less shooting, 2 more passing, 1 more physical, 9 more dribbling, and 2 less defending, right? There's value there. When we look at a different card, let's go back to Aouar, right? Let's take Aouar as our example, right? When we look at Aouar on the game, Aouar, and it's hard to do it by position for Aouar, but because he's like a unique kind of card. But when you look at other players that are similar to him, and you think about, I don't know, maybe a Dybala, maybe a Marco Reus. Now there's certain things that are nowhere near similar, but Dybala has 2 less pace, 3 less shooting, 1 less passing, 3 more dribbling, 4-star, 3-star only, whereas Marco Reus has that 4-star, 4-star. Reus has way less physicals and pace, but relatively similar dribbling, shooting, and passing. These cards are like 13k, and Dybala up to 40k. He was way lower than that before. He's actually gone up in price, which is quite interesting. When you compare him to, as an example, a Talisca, now, of course, Talisca are a little bit harder to link, but Talisca has the same pace, less dribbling, 5 less physical, 2 less passing, 4 less shooting. That's not even that great of a shout either. And then the free card Morlaye, of course, very similar stats. 1 less dribbling, 1 more passing, 3 less pace, and a little less shooting as well. 4-star, 4-star as well. These, like, this Aouar, he's not, listen, I'm not saying this is a bad card. This isn't a bad card, right? In fact, this is a very good card. I don't know if he should be a striker or a centre mid or a cam or what, but the point is, if I spend 130,000 coins on this Aouar, there are already cards in the market that are extremely similar to this guy for way cheaper. It's picked up some very strange choices as being similar to him. I don't think he's anywhere close to Eric Cantona. But you guys get the picture, right? What's Thorgan Hazard as a tradable card? 182k. That's quite crazy. In terms of like saying that an SBC becomes bad value because a better card comes out later on in the game isn't what I was getting at in yesterday's video. What I was getting at in yesterday's video is if there is a tradable alternative that is extremely similar in many areas, that SBC is basically worthless. There is not a tradable alternative that is extremely similar to Hakuna. There is a tradable alternative that has good properties in Grimaldo, as we saw, but Grimaldo's 3-star, 2-star from a far, far worse league than Hakuna, and is a worse player. Not by much, but is a worse player. So there's mad value in that Hakuna. Same thing about the João Felix. Like, there are cards out there, for example, the Quincy Promes live item, that would have done the same job for me, you know? So the argument of, I shouldn't do this now because something better will come later, is dumb, and it isn't dumb. It is dumb if you look at a card like Hakuna, because he's brilliant. But it isn't dumb if you think about what you want out of FIFA, and sometimes what people want out of FIFA is to have the best long-term experience. And that's what I'm kind of talking about here. Forget short-term experience. If you're talking about short-term, just go and do every SBC now and worry about the today. What's going to happen is eventually you're going to run out of coins and cards like we talked about, and then guess what? EA have got you in the trap. Now you're going to be like, okay, let me put some FIFA points in so I can get some coins and cards and do this new SBC. That's exactly what EA want. Every SBC isn't created for every person, as we well know. And so, there are some of these cards that even if I played lots of games with them as an SBC, who's an SBC here? I mean, Sterling is, I suppose, as a good example as anyone, but some of these cards, even though I enjoyed them at the time, why is the reason that I enjoyed them? Is the reason that I enjoyed them because I told myself I had to because I've done the SBC? Would my experience in the game, I suppose this is a better way to explain what I'm feeling, right? Would my experience in the game have been lessened had I not done a particular SBC? And the answer is no, because there is always another player to fill that void. But I do absolutely understand that if a player comes out and you want to do it, just do it, right? I think there was a few comments like that it's like, look, this is a game at the end of the day. It's a 12-month cycle. If a player comes out and it tickles your fancy, you don't need my kind of blessing. You don't need for me to validate your opinion. You can just do it if you like it. That is as big and as bad as it gets. hey man, I really like this SBC. I really want to do it. I don't care how much it costs. I just want this player for my team. That's perfect for you. That's perfect for you. The next comment is from Sipanka. He says, I understand how you get those players you play for, but what if you're an average to bad player at the game? You're in Division 1 while I'm in Division 6. And he's talking about these players, right? It doesn't matter what division you're in for these players. It's skill-based matchmaking. So it's as difficult for me as it is for you, regardless of the division we're in, right? To get these like this Van Bergen, you just have to go and play like 10 or 15 games or whatever with your Eredivisie squad in Managerial Masterpiece. Doesn't matter what division you're in for that. The objective players, because EA have put skill-based matchmaking into objectives, it is as hard as it is for everyone. If there was no skill-based matchmaking in objectives, I would say, yeah, you've got a fair point. It's way easier for me because I come up against people that I absolutely batter. They rage quit. It makes it real easy. And for people that are lower skilled, they come up against way higher skilled players. It takes them considerably longer to get exactly the same card. That wouldn't be fair. That's why the skill-based matchmaking is there. So it doesn't matter what division you're in. It's basically all the same. And then the last comment before we go and build our team, guys, is from Skunya to the Beat. He says, Nep, or like quoting me, objective players just don't get into anyone's team at this stage. Also, Nep, you can literally build a very good team for objective players you just played for. And both of those statements are true, right? And when I say they don't get into anyone's team, I am generalizing, right? If you just got the game at Christmas, as some people let me know in the comments, that Kappa is a big upgrade for your team. If you missed out on Mole, there's another card that's going to be a big upgrade for your team. If you missed out on Diego Jota, there will be that Coman there. If you missed out on Coman or Correa, there is the Balassi that's there. Like, you know, generally speaking, these objective cards aren't good enough for people's team. I mean, if you can just have a look at the players you face in every Division Rivals game and the players you face in every Foot Champs game and ask yourself, does this person get a boost in their team by any objective cards? And I would say more often than not, the answer would be no. But that doesn't mean that we can't build a good objective-based team, and that's what we're going to try and do right here. So let's get into building this squad. I do know we have talked about like the SBCs and the value of them and stuff for a couple of videos, and if I have gone over some of the same content right here as I talked about yesterday, I do apologize, but I think it's important that people understand I'm not bashing just on every SBC that comes out. I have enjoyed a lot of SBCs. Some of them have been great value for the club. Some of them have been really expensive, but still been good to play with. But a lot of them have been cards that, in hindsight, I would like to think that I wouldn't do them again if the opportunity had arisen. But, as I say, let's get in. What I want is, I want the championship cards. Because we're going to go, I'm not going to play with it today, because I have rambled on for too long. But what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and play some rivals games with an objective-only squad. Maybe some champs games. I don't know. What's going to be really interesting is that we don't have a goalkeeper. So I don't know who I'm going to put in goal. Do I have a Brazilian? Do I have... Who's in goal? Who's in the back line? German and American. Do I even have a German goalkeeper? I don't have like a Neuer. I don't have anyone really. I just don't even have. Oh, look at that. We've got an American informed goalkeeper. Hey, what a stroke of luck that is. And so, other than one striker that I might not even be able to fit in, who else do we want to play with here? Who don't I play with that would be fun to play with? Like, let's put Balassi in. Let's get Gravenberch and Van Bergen out because I use those guys a lot. Oh, it would be nice to play with... what about a team like that? Naby Keita and Bradley Dack. What formation am I playing? 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So Naby Keita at CDM. Dack and... Jeez. See, there's no passer of the ball here. Maybe I want to put Bojan in and Delafeu. Maybe I don't want to use Dak. I certainly wouldn't mind using King, but at the same time, that doesn't really do much for me. And who else could we pop in? We could put Kappa up top. So we'd have Kappa at CDM, Bojan and Naby Keita at centre mid, Bolassi at cam, Deulofeu and Jota up front, or Deulofeu at cam and Balassi and Jota up front. That's not a bad team. We'll have to... Oh, the centre-back doesn't work. Maybe we do that. Put Mukiele in there. Or maybe we go back to Hector Bellerin. An interesting squad. It would have been nice to use Correa, but then... Oh, no, I suppose... Yeah, everyone stays the same on chemistry. Kappa would have been on 8 anyway. So now, if we use Naby Keita at CDM... Oh, see, now I don't have enough... I don't have like a defensive midfielder. Tricky, isn't it? It's tricky because there's so many quality cards. And, I mean, there's even so many that we don't even have in the team. Who's like... I'm talking about genuine, flat-out, nothing other than objective cards. Who are we missing out on here? Hector Bellerin would be in there. Kunde would be in there. He was an objective card. Who else would we have? Obviously, Dak, I do. That's about it, isn't it? But there's a few objective cards. Would I want to go with Kunde? No, we'll go with Long and Petit. We'll go with Mukiele. Maybe Bellerin. Maybe Bellerin. We'll go with Jota. And as good as Correa looks to be, we're going to put Kappa in. We are going to put Kappa in. And we are going to play with... We're going to play with Kappa at CDM, Bojan and Keita at centre mid, Deulofeu at cam, Balassi and Jota at striker. Now, to figure this out for chemistry, I'm going to guess that, as per usual, the 4-5-1 is probably going to be the best. Let's have a little look at what we can do with chem. So Jota's on full chem. Bojan here. Oh no, see, Bojan's off chem. Kappa will be on 8. Balassi on 8. Keita on 8. So that doesn't work. Let me try the 4-2-2. See what we can do with that. No, sorry, the 4-4-2, I beg your pardon. Deulofeu out there. Bojan is fine. Long and Lima are fine. Kappa is fine. Bojan still quite doesn't get the full chem. Joshua on right wing will be on 10. That didn't influence it at all. Naby Keita on 10. In fact, it hurts it because Mukiele doesn't get chem. So if we play Bellerin, that doesn't help Balassi either. Let's go for some of the 4-3-3s. They're always fairly usable in terms of certain chemistry situations for the 4-3-3. So we'd have Deulofeu, Kappa, Bojan. Oh, that works nicely. Oh, that works really nice, doesn't it? So Keita... Yeah, Deulofeu goes up to 10. Kappa stays on 8. Bojan's on 8. What about like that? If we do that with Bellerin, that's probably the one. Because then Bojan's on 10. Oh no, because then Deulofeu loses out. Ooh, this is tricky. It's just the right-hand side here. Yeah, I mean, we will have to use Balassi and Jota on 8. Bojan and Kappa on 8. And Petit on 8. I don't think we'll get full chem. But it's not bad. Unless we went with like another... I mean, we could put Rodrigo out there. And use him instead of Jota. We haven't really used Rodrigo. And then... Who else could we use? Lacazette. Doesn't really help. I mean, we could put Bex in. He gets a strong link to my main man. Doesn't work, does it? Just doesn't work. There's just too many good players. That's the problem. What about... Yeah, see, Lacazette and Naby Keita aren't the ones. We need Kappa for that defensive-minded setup. I think, guys, this is going to be... I don't know. I know how it's going to look in-game. I don't know how it's going to look to start. I'll figure out the chemistry to start. But in-game, Kappa at CDM, Bojan and Keita at centre mid, Deulofeu at cam, either Lacazette and Rodrigo on the wings, or sorry, up front, or Bolasie and Jota up front. That's what the team's going to look like for us. And I will figure it out. I'll sort it out. I'll put the chem styles on, get the tactics sorted out, and then tomorrow's video will be us starting with playing a couple of rivals games in Division 1 with this team and just seeing how we do and seeing how it goes. But for today, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. So if you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rate, and comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And for now, I'm out. Peace.